you mad?
Amara, please stop.
You see this my husband, I go show am Pepe.
My name is Amara Okoye. I was 17 when I entered the university, and back then, I thought I knew everything about life. I was what they called a popping babe, the kind of girl who turned heads when she walked into a lecture hall, who knew all the latest dance moves, who could make a simple pair of jeans look like they cost a fortune. My curves were my pride, my confidence was my weapon, and Lagos nightlife was my playground. University was everything I had dreamed of. My friends, Linda, Kemi, and Tolu, we were inseparable. Friday nights, we would paint the town red. Quilox, Escape, DNA, we knew all the spots. We would dance until our feet hurt, laugh until our stomachs ached. I had dreams too. Big dreams. I wanted to work in a top bank, wear corporate suits, drive my own car, and make my parents proud. I was going to be somebody. I graduated at 21 with a second-class upper. My parents threw a party. I did my NYSC in Abuja, came back to Lagos at 22, and started applying to banks. Life was good. Life was mine. I was in control. Then I met Femi. It was a Saturday night at a club in Victoria Island. I was wearing a black dress that hugged every curve, my hair freshly done, my makeup flawless. I was dancing with my girls when I felt eyes on me. I turned and saw him, tall, dark-skinned, covered in tattoos that snaked up his arms, piercings glinting under the club lights. He was older, maybe 30-something, and he carried himself like he owned the world. He bought our table bottles of champagne. His confidence was magnetic. When he spoke, his voice was deep and smooth, like honey poured over gravel. He told me I was the most beautiful woman in Lagos. He said I deserved to be treated like a queen. He asked for my number and I gave it to him. Femi showered me with gifts, designer bags, expensive shoes, money for hair and nails. He would take me to restaurants where I couldn't pronounce half the items on the menu. He would send his driver to pick me up from my parents' house, and we would drive around Lagos in his Range Rover, music blasting, wind in my hair. He made me feel special. He made me feel chosen. You don't need to work in any bank, he told me one evening as we sat in his penthouse apartment overlooking the Lagos Lagoon. I will take care of you. You are too fine to be stressing yourself in traffic every day. I laughed. Femi, I have to work. I didn't go to university for nothing. He pulled me close, his cologne intoxicating. Baby, let me be your work. Marry me. Be my queen. I'll give you everything you've ever wanted. I was 23 when I said yes. My friends were skeptical, Linda especially. She pulled me aside at my bridal shower. Amara, are you sure about this guy? You barely know him. What does he even do? He's a businessman, import and export. He's successful, Linda. He loves me. Linda looked at me with eyes that held something I couldn't name then. Maybe fear. Just be careful, babe. Some cages are lined with gold. I didn't understand her then. The wedding was lavish. Femi spared no expense. My dress was imported from Dubai. The reception was at the Echo Hotel, and there were more than 500 guests. I felt like a princess. My parents were proud. Femi's mother sat in the front row, her face neutral, her eyes calculating. The trouble started on our wedding night. You're going to my mother's house tomorrow, Femi said casually as we lay in the hotel suite. I sat up, confused. What? I thought we were going to Mauritius for our honeymoon. We'll do that later. First, you need proper training. My mother will teach you how to be a good wife. Training? Femi, I'm a graduate. I know how to... His hand shot out and gripped my wrist, not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough to silence me. His eyes were cold. Don't question me, Amara. You are my wife now. You do as I say. That was the first time I saw the real Femi. I spent 3 months in my mother-in-law's house in Magodo. 3 3 months of hell disguised as tradition. I woke up at 5 a.m. to sweep the compound. I cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner under her supervision. I washed clothes by hand, even though there was a washing machine. I knelt to serve her food. I knelt to greet her. I knelt until my knees were bruised and my spirit was broken. A good wife is a submissive wife, she would say, her voice sharp as a knife. You must learn to obey your husband in everything. Never question him, never challenge him. A man is the head, you are the neck. You support, you don't lead. I called Femi every night, begging him to come get me. He would laugh. Baby, this is for your own good. My mother knows best. Just be patient. When he finally took me to our home, a beautiful duplex in Lekki, I thought the nightmare was over. I was wrong. It was just beginning. Femi controlled everything. My phone, my movements, my friends, my time. He gave me a monthly allowance that was barely enough for personal care. When I asked about getting a job, he exploded. Job? Are you mad? Do you want people to say I can't take care of my wife? You will stay home, you will cook, clean, and wait for me. That is your job. I couldn't call or text my friends often. Femi monitored my calls. He would check my phone history, my messages, my social media. If he saw anything he didn't like, there would be consequences. The first time he hit me, I had cooked jollof rice and he claimed it was too salty. He threw the plate against the wall, grabbed me by my hair and slapped me so hard my ear rang for 2 days. Then he cried. He held me and cried and said he was sorry, that he loved me too much, that I made him crazy. I believed him. The second time, I had gone to the market without telling him. He came home, didn't find me, and when I returned with bags of foodstuff, he beat me with his belt until my back was lined with welts. Then he made love to me, gentle and tender, whispering apologies into my skin. I stopped counting after the 10th time. The women came and went. I would find long hairs on his clothes, smell perfumes I didn't wear, see lipstick stains on his collars. When I confronted him, he would laugh. So what? I'm a man. If you were taking care of me properly, I wouldn't need to look elsewhere. Maybe if you weren't so useless, I would be satisfied at home. I shrank. Every day I became smaller. The girl who used to dance in clubs, who used to laugh freely, who used to dream, she disappeared. In her place was a ghost, a shadow, a thing that cooked and cleaned and endured. I stopped looking in mirrors. I didn't recognize the woman staring back. Then, 2 years into the marriage, I saw Linda at Balogo Market. I had gone to buy fabric when I heard my name. Amara Okoye. I turned. Linda stood there, shocked, her eyes scanning me from head to toe. I knew what she saw. I had lost weight, my clothes hung on me, my eyes were hollow, the glow was gone. She grabbed my hand. Come, let's talk. We sat in a small buka near my, and I told her everything. The control, the beatings, the isolation, the infidelity. I cried until I had no tears left. Linda listened, her face hardening with each word. When I finished, she leaned forward. Amara, you need to leave. I can't. I have no money, nowhere to go. He'll find me. Then you need a plan. Listen to me carefully. You can't just run. He'll drag you back. You need to be strategic. You need to become strong again, physically, mentally, and financially. And then when you are ready, you leave. How? I asked her. I'll show you, but you have to trust me and you have to be patient. Linda introduced me to online freelancing. She taught me how to offer virtual assistance services, how to manage social media for small businesses. I would work on the laptop when Femi was out with his women, saving every kobo I made into a secret bank account Linda helped me open. In 6 months, I had saved over 600,000 naira. Linda also took me to her gym. At first, I could barely lift 5 kilograms. My body was weak, my spirit weaker. But the trainer, a woman named Ngozi, she understood. She pushed me, trained me, taught me not just how to exercise, but how to fight. You are not learning this to attack, Ngozi said as she taught me how to throw a punch. You are learning this so that the next time he tries, you have a choice. I trained 4 times a week, telling Femi I was attending a women's Bible study group at a church nearby. He didn't care enough to verify. I grew stronger. My muscles grew. My confidence slowly began to creep back. After a year, I had saved 2 million naira. I found a small 1-bedroom apartment in Bega through a contact of Linda's. I paid the rent for a year in advance, furnished it modestly, and kept the key hidden. But I didn't want to just leave. I wanted him to feel what I felt. I wanted him to know what it meant to be humiliated, to be powerless, to be broken. So I started going out again. Then I started dressing better. I used some of my savings to buy new clothes, do my hair, my nails. I started going to social events. I ran into his brother Tunde at an event Linda and I went to. I complimented him, touched his arm, laughed at his jokes. We exchanged contacts and started texting. Then we started going out, started seeing often. I made sure not to hide it so that Femi would find out. At a business dinner Femi dragged me to, I struck up a conversation with his friend Jide. I was charming, intelligent, funny. Everything Femi had tried to beat out of me. Jide was captivated. He asked for my number. I gave it to him. Femi said nothing that night, but when we got home, he grabbed me. "What do you think you are doing?" I looked him in the eye. Calm, cold, socializing. Isn't that what you do every night? He raised his hand to hit me. I didn't flinch. Something in my eyes must have stopped him because he lowered his hand and walked away. I just smiled. I was waiting for the day he would hit me again and he'd see my other side. Then I ran into Femi's father at a restaurant. He recognized me, invited me to sit with him. We talked for hours. His father is as useless as him because tell me why my father-in-law is trying to woo me. Men, sha. The man kept on talking. I listened. I sympathized. I made him feel seen. When he asked if he could see me again, I said yes. We met 3 more times over the next month. I never slept with him, but I let him believe it was possible. I let him take me to nice places, buy me gifts, hold my hand, and I made sure people saw us, people who knew Femi. It took less than a week for word to reach him. He came home one evening, his face twisted with rage. "You've been seeing my father?" I was in the kitchen, cooking. I didn't respond at first. He asked again, this time yelling. Then I said, "Yes, and your friend Jide and your brother Tunde, what are you going to do about it?" He lunged at me. As his hand came down, I grabbed the hot frying pan from the stove and swung it with all the strength I had in me. It connected with the side of his head with a sick thud. Femi staggered back, shock written across his face. I didn't stop. I hit him again and again with the pan, with my fists, with my feet. I beat the hell out of him, the way he had beaten me, and I felt nothing but cold satisfaction. He fell to the floor, whimpering, begging, "Amara, please, I'm sorry, please stop." I stood over him, breathing hard, the pan still in my hand. "You are sorry? Now you are sorry? Where was your sorry when you beat me, when you cheated, when you destroyed me?" He tried to crawl away. I kicked him. "Look at you, big man, strong man, on the floor like a rat." "Amara, please," he begged. I left him there, bleeding and broken, and went to the bedroom. The next morning, Femi was different. When he woke up, limping from the bedroom, he found me in the living room, sipping tea, scrolling through my phone. There was a bandage on his head where I'd hit him. His eyes were weary, afraid. "Amara, we need to talk." I looked up, smiled sweetly. "About what, darling?" About last night. I think we both got carried away. Maybe we should go to counseling or what? I set my cup down. "Or you beat me again? Go ahead, try it." He took a step back. I could see the fear in his eyes. He was scared of me now, and I liked it. Over the next 3 months, I made Femi's life a living hell. I stayed in the house, but I lived like I was single. I came and went as I pleased. I wore short skirts, tight dresses, plunging necklines, things I knew would drive him crazy. When he complained, I would stare at him coldly until he looked away. I went out with my father-in-law 3 more times. Each time, I made sure to take photos and post them on social media with captions like "Dinner with an amazing man" or "Some men know how to treat a woman right." I tagged locations, expensive restaurants, clubs, hotels. I wanted Femi to see. Tunde and I went out often. Every outing was documented. Every photo was uploaded. In one picture, Tunde's arm was around my waist. In another, we were sharing ice cream, laughing. I made sure Femi was seeing everything. Did the same with Jide, his best friend. Femi tried to confront me at home. He grabbed my arm once, fury in his eyes. "You are embarrassing me. Everyone is talking. They are laughing at me." I snatched my arm away and shoved him hard. He stumbled. "Good. Now you know how it feels." He raised his hand. I didn't flinch. "Hit me, Femi. Please, hit me and see what happens. You think that pan was bad? Try me again." One evening, I sat down with all the evidence I had collected. Screenshots of Femi's conversations with other women, photos I had taken from his phone, everything. I organized it into a neat folder, added captions and dates, and created a PDF document. I titled it "The Real Femi, a Cheat and a Liar." Then, I sent it to the church's WhatsApp group chat, all the members, including the pastor, the elders, the deacons, and the choir. I sent it to his work email and copied his boss, his colleagues, and the HR department. I sent the photos of myself with my father-in-law and Tunde, my brother-in-law, directly to my mother-in-law via WhatsApp. I added a simple message: "Your husband and your son have been such wonderful companions. Thank you for raising such attentive men." I watched the chaos unfold in real time. The church group chat exploded. Messages poured in. Shock, disgust, disappointment. I don't know much about what happened when his office got the email, but I'm sure his reputation is shattered. Within a week, I heard that my mother-in-law had moved out of their matrimonial home. She went to stay with her sister in Ibadan, refusing to speak to either her husband or her sons. The perfect family was crumbling, and I watched it burn with satisfaction. And through it all, I lived in his house, free and unbothered. I came home at midnight, sometimes later, smelling of perfume and wine, and he said nothing. He couldn't. He was terrified of what I might do next. One night, he tried to plead with me. "Amara, please, can we fix this? Can we start over? I'll change. I swear I'll change." "Fix this?" I laughed. "Femi, there's nothing left to fix." After dealing with him and destroying his family, I packed my bags and left. I went to the apartment I rented in Bega, blocked all of them on my phone. My father-in-law, mother-in-law, Tunde, Jide, and Femi too.